Rolling. Okay. You're listening to the Phatcast live from the studio with Colin Reynolds.
What is the point of being with someone if you're always alone? I feel as though I'm sleeping on the street. You're supposed to be my home. Well, I can't find the spare key, and the sun set hours ago. I'd throw a rock through your window, climb the balcony, but I'm a little too old to act like that. To act like that. I'm as lonesome as the trees that stand up all through Lake Leak, rotten through, but roots too strong to drift away with the breeze. And I'm screaming in the lounge room. Oh, I'm such an embarrassment to you, when all I need is for you to make a cup of tea and kiss me on the cheek when you hand it to me. I'm trying my best to stay. I'm fighting the fear of hurt that's pulling me away. I'm trying my best to leave all of the shit I used to use to deal with this stuff behind me. I'm as lonesome as the trees that stand up all through Lake Leak. I'd throw a rock through your window or climb the balcony, but I'm a little too weak.
Good afternoon. You're watching the Phatcast, and I'm your host, Colin Reynolds. And today, my special guest is Ms. Rose Trent.
Kia ora.
How you doing, Rose?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Excellent.
Yeah, doing well. I'm glad the sun's out.
I'm glad that I'm in the shade right now, not being attacked by the sun.
Yeah.
We've had quite a few scorching days, haven't we?
Yeah, but I work at a school, so the aircon's like Arctic. So
Oh, wow.
you go from boiling hot to freezing cold very quickly.
Extreme.
Yeah.
I tend to be outside a lot, so I just like just try and stay in the shade as much as I can, because I totally melt. I just burn to an absolute crisp. So the song that you just played for us.
Yeah.
What's the name of that song?
It's called Lake Leak.
Lake Leak.
Yeah.
Nice place, that.
Yeah. I took myself there for a self-imposed writing retreat once, just overnight. And it is very beautiful, but it also is quite harrowing in
Sure.
a way.
And you know the name
trees.
of it. It's you could have a horror movie called Lake Leak,
Lake Leak, yeah.
based at Lake Leak, and
Yeah.
it's got this Cape Fear kind of vibe. Right?
It's pretty sinister. Like just I don't know, and I guess that I really like the metaphor in the song of the side of these trees that
The
just
burnt trees?
look 100% dead,
Yep.
but are still just standing there
Yeah.
so strongly as a sort of metaphor for a relationship
Undead.
that you won't let go.
Zombie trees.
Zombie trees. That's the name of the EP. It's going to be Rose Trent Zombie Trees.
For real?
No.
I actually thought you were serious there for a minute.
No,
Oh.
I'm a very serious artist, so I'm not going to call my EP Zombie Trees
So
unless
the
someone offers me $50.
EP, so you're currently in recording at the moment, or?
Yeah, so it's just going to be a 5-track.
Yep.
And all of the songs explore sort of the same moment in time in a relationship, I guess.
Sure. Well, this is a rather deep dive.
It's an extremely deep dive. So they're currently being mixed. So I recorded with Jed Pickett at Rolling on the River Recordings, which was really a beautiful recording experience. But yeah, it is a deep dive, and I think I'm very proud of the songs, and I think that they're a little bit more sophisticated than some of the stuff I've written in the past, because there's a real tension there. Like a lot of the stuff I've written before is very one note of one strong emotion.
Sure.
Whereas all of the tracks on the EP have a bit of a pull in two directions of wanting something to be better, wanting to leave, wanting to stay, and like just sitting in that moment of
A war with yourself.
Yeah, basically, and not knowing how to fix it,
Sure. All the best, fiction. We're talking about not just music, but movies and books, when the human is at war with themselves.
Yeah.
It was Tolkien, actually, fantasy writer for the ages, who famously claimed this. And he said the human heart at war with itself is the only thing worth writing about.
Yeah. Well, that was something that they got us to do when I studied writing, was to come up with totally contradictory characteristics and write them into the same character.
Oh, sure.
Like, how can you have someone who's extremely uptight and highly disorganized, as a not very emotive one, or like, I don't know. Yeah. Creating polarities, because we all have them.
Definitely.
It seems like you wouldn't be able to do that in a character, but that's absolutely how humans operate. This cognitive dissonance between different characteristics.
Sure. Oh, you probably, there's a lot of people might have quite organised thoughts and then a disorganised house.
Yeah.
Or a totally orderly house.
And
but
chaos,
they're actually chaotic.
Chaos within.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Wicked. So this should be coming out pretty soon?
I don't have a timeline, but it'll definitely be this year. Yeah. Which is pretty cool, because I'm turning 28 in April, and I played my first solo gig when I was 18. So it's
the
been a long road. Yeah.
Album,
Yeah. And when I started playing, I played under the name Rowboat, which like it's always just been, broken girl stuff of like, that was the name that my first love. We were trying to strap together a relationship when we knew we were terrible for each other. So we were like, well, let's have nicknames. And he was really hairy, so I called him Grizzly.
Yep.
And he called me Rowboat. So that name was sort of a symbol of like this sinking ship of a relationship.
Sure.
And then I moved to Rose Trent.
Yep.
To be a
Sound
little
more
bit more
professional.
neutral. Yeah, and like it's also like Trent's a name I'm proud to have in my family, and it's a little more neutral. And also a friend of mine was like, oh yeah, I love your stuff. Robat's a great name. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, not what I was going for.
Robat's not the name. So I don't know. It's very twee. I thought I'd move to something a little bit more grown up.
So you mentioned there your other project, the Broken Girls Club.
Yeah.
Now, is there some crossover between the solo and the band stuff?
Yeah, it's pretty much a process. Well, the band started with myself and Kelly, the drummer. He and his friend Jesse were like, I think he was like bashing out a beat on the top of the piano at the back of the Brizzy Hotel, and his friend Jesse was like smashing chords, and I was a little the worse for wear. So I was like, I'm going to improvise some lyrics. And then I gave him my email address, And then we eventually had a jam. And so that was the start of the band. But until then, like, I just took some solo stuff that, some solo songs that I'd written that I hadn't touched for a few years, because I'd played in a little burst, and then I left Wellington and went on tour with kids shows and just didn't
Wellington,
play.
New Zealand.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then we did some improvising. The song Rum Song that we have out was like, his flatmate was hungover, and I was like, oh, this will make you feel better. We'll improvise a song for you. So that's how Rum Song came to be. And yeah, I guess there's recently, with the songs that are coming out on the EP, my solo EP, they're the only ones that I sort of haven't taken to the band.
Sure. Like the most recent stuff.
Yeah, and I think it's just, there's like a delicacy there, and the band is a hell of a lot of fun, but we do pump things up, and I sort of get into this character of like quite angry and quite like cheeky, and with the solo stuff, it's really nice to sit in this more serious and sort of earnest space of like they're a lot more dark in a way.
Does it feel like see, obviously it makes sense when you're starting a band, you got to get some material together, you got to get a set together, so you'll plumb your scrapbook or whatever for stuff that's unfinished, or perhaps even stuff that you play but like you can jazz up a bit with the band. But then once you're sort of more established as a band, to create like you've reached a point at which your solo stuff has a different identity than the band stuff.
And also just with the band, like I'm a lyric brain and a melody brain, and that's the stuff that gets me excited and that I love. And the boys are much more experienced musicians in terms of composition. So also all of the songs that I take to the band journey, because I'm not going in with an arrangement being like, play this. It's like very collaborative. So there's also the thing of, with the solo stuff, I control the river, whereas with the boys, with the band, it's the reason that the music's changed as well is because there's four brains,
of course,
all steering. Which is really great, and that's why it's different, and but that also does mean that there's a couple of songs that I'm protective of I don't want them to become fun dance songs.
You got to choose your heels though, don't you?
Yeah.
Like, I have a 3-piece metal band, and essentially the songs it's all stuff that I've written, but then I'll take these ideas to the band, and it hasn't become a song until we've kind of all had our input.
Yeah.
And there'll be certain bits where I really wanted it to be a certain way, and the band ends up doing it another way.
Yeah.
I can't argue every single time, because then it'll just be like a constant sort of conflict.
Yeah, no one wants to be like the diva.
No, exactly. Well. So like maybe every 4 or 5 times that I feel strongly about something, I'll just say, look, I really want this bit to be, a certain way.
Yeah.
And when you do that, when you sort of take a stand, occasionally you take it more seriously.
It has a bit more, oomph. Yeah, absolutely. Luckily, like, we have a pretty good open dynamic, and everyone's sort of on quite equal footing in terms of their own areas of specialization. Like, I think everyone in the band's quite good at different things.
Yep.
So there's a degree of we can all give feedback, because we know that we're not experts in every area.
Yep.
Which is it's a good ego check, because it's easy to get swept up a little bit as well.
Sure.
We just had a jam a week ago, and we were like, let's just improvise for a whole jam.
Okay.
And it was so good.
Great.
It was so tasty. Yeah. So hopefully there'll be some different stuff coming out of the band this year.
We tend to start our jams off with a bit of an improv.
Yeah.
But like 5 minutes of that with this particular band aesthetic, like, is enough before we're starting to go over old ground.
Right.
And we're like, okay, stop it there.
Yeah.
and then maybe 1 or 2 of the riffs that came out of that we'll end up using.
It'll be valuable. Yeah.
That's right. But then for the majority, we just essentially practicing again and again and again and again the stuff that we're performing live.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we got a pretty solid 45 down, and I think there's always a risk of sitting too comfortably. And
Definitely.
like, because we're 4 human beings with jobs and partners and careers and blah, 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 it's like, it's always hard to coordinate a little bit. So if you're like, oh, well, we can do the 45 that we know like the back of our hand. But I think we've challenged ourselves a little bit this year to just shake it up. Like, yeah, we're proud of those songs.
For sure.
What's next? We've been a band for 3 years, like just a month ago, 3 years, which is just absolutely mad because it's just like, I want to click, but I know you're not supposed to do that near microphones. But it's just like,
yeah,
it's gone really, really quickly. Yeah.
Well, the mix that we found is kind of that. So at any one time, the songs we're working hardest on are, say, maybe the 8 or 10 we're planning on playing at our next gig.
Yeah.
Plus one new one that we're working on.
Yeah.
We currently have about 2 hours, and we still haven't released an album yet. This particular band, we've done most of the recording. Still need to add some vocals.
I like a good like decent track number on an album though.
Yeah, well, that's too much for one album.
2 hours.
We'll put like 10 songs on an album. We've got like 17, 18 songs.
Yeah, I think that's good, man. 20-song album, I reckon.
Well, so metal songs can tend to be kind of long too,
Yeah, true. I'm thinking of it was like my favorite at uni was like the Magnetic Field 69 love songs. So it's like a double album, wow. I think. But some of them are 45 seconds long, some of the songs. It's really sweet. So that's what I'm shooting for. Yeah, 69 track album.
Well, like grindcore has like really short songs.
All right.
You're like the opposite of that, lovecore, right? Yeah.
They're lengthy.
No. I mean, with this, you're saying like 69 songs.
Oh yeah.
A lot of them have to be short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love
so
cool.
I mean, I'm saying grindcore's kind of like that, where they'll just like, and then like for 20 seconds, bang, that's the whole song.
Yeah. That must be jarring in a live setting though. Like I feel like after 20 seconds, you're starting to get.
I imagine the singers getting like hypoxia or something like that, like lack of oxygen to the brain.
Yeah.
My favourite grindcore singer, my good friend Samora Squid. His grindcore band, unfortunately, sort of hung up their hat a few years ago.
Right.
The name of that band was Now You're Fucked.
Great advice.
Great name for a grindcore band, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they would have 20-second songs, 10-second songs, 45-second songs.
Yeah.
And they would fill up their, hour set with like,
wow.
These 30-second songs or whatever.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it's a thing to behold.
Yeah. See, I think of like sometimes I wake up and record the thing that's in my brain, and that's 20 seconds, and I'm like, I've got to find another 3 minutes to build around.
But maybe you don't.
Thing. But maybe you don't. Just a 20-second soundbite. Yeah. Like the other morning, I woke up and in my head was just, don't drink the water. Oh no, it was just drink the water. Don't wait till you're on fire. Which is like, I quite like that. But I'm like, but I don't want to write a whole song about a water and fire metaphor. I'm not doing it.
But that could be just the whole song.
But that's just it.
Because, the thing is, like, we've become adjusted to this roughly 2.5 to 4.5 minutes.
Yeah, that's how we're paced now.
Because of, the radio. We like every song's like around about that length.
Yeah.
We're used to songs being somewhere between the tempo of 80 and 130. We're used to verse, chorus, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus structure.
Yeah.
And like, we've got now maybe 60 to 80 years of that song structure and that kind of time. And just like we've been inculcated into doing this.
Yeah.
Like against our will, if you like. Like, because there's nothing that says that's what a song should be.
I love a 6 to 7 minute song.
If it's like, it's got to have something interesting.
Oh yeah,
there, right?
Yeah, I drove up to Queenstown a couple of weekends ago, and I couldn't find my like sleeve of all my CDs, and the only CD I had in was a copy of The Cat by Ben Salter that he
Oh.
sent to Edge Radio
Sure.
many years ago, and then I did a training there, and they were like, "Oh, we've got these CDs, like if you," and I was like, "Oh, Ben Salter." So it was the only thing. So I listened to it on repeat the whole drive up to Queenstown, and I think it's West End Girls. It's like 6.5 minutes,
Sure.
and it feels, because you're driving, you're not
Pet Shop
sure, you
Boys.
don't really realize. Is
West
it?
End Girls.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, it was.
It's on, like, that's one of the tracks on
Cat.
Salty's. Yeah.
Well, see, West End Girls was also covered.
Is it like
by
West End
Girls?
Girls?
Dun-dun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It was
it's like
originally
this
originally
dreamy-
Pet Shop Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and then it was covered by this like boy band rap aesthetic called East 17.
Yeah, right.
Back
Cool.
in the early 90s, like 94.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very
Yes.
dreamy. Ben Salter's one is very, very dreamy. But
We've got him back at Mona again, actually,
Oh, good.
doing his import-export.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't caught it yet. I'd like to.
Maybe you should give Ben a call and see if you can record something with him.
Hey, Ben. Hey, Ben, I listened to your album 20 times. Do you want to hang out?
Yeah, that's an endorsement, right? Ben, you should
Ben,
be watching this anyway, Ben.
I know all the words to West End Girls, if you ever need a friend. It's not scary at all. I feel like I just laughed too loud and blew the mic or something.
Oh, look, that's all right. That's all right. We can smooth all those edges out.
Nice. Yeah. No, I like a long song. It's good.
Some of my favourite songs are long.
Yeah.
Mr. Blue Sky by Electric Light Orchestra. Do you know the song?
No.
It's
My dad listened to a lot of Electric Light Orchestra.
This is that's like, I mean, they had a few big hits, but that's the big hit.
Yeah.
If you heard it, you've 100%
I'd know
heard it
yeah.
before. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. I know it's overplayed, but
Yeah.
what a great fucking song.
Yeah, but you earn the length, don't you?
Right.
You know.
It's
Like,
it's not
the
just
thing of it.
repeating. It's
Yeah.
there's a lot going on there.
Yeah, doing the work.
And like Hotel California, the Eagles. I mean, I haven't listened to that for a while now because I listened to it too many times.
It's too yeah, it's too much.
Yeah.
I like just talking about like the repetitive structure that I guess we're kind of used to. I really enjoyed, like, I think it was, I don't know if it was an interview or if she just wrote it next to the release, but like when Maddie Jane released Something Old, Something New, she wrote in the post like, look, it's not like my usual stuff. It's kind of just a rant that escalates or something like that.
Okay.
And I've written a couple of songs recently that are rejecting that sort of structure that I'm so used to doing.
Sure.
And I really like that. Just the idea that's like it's one thought that just drives and drives and gets more and more intense in its delivery.
Sure.
Rather than the sort of polite.
Well,
I mean, it's nice and it's comfortable, but it's been fun playing with that a little bit more.
In terms of music composition, that's a fundamental concept.
Mm.
Is that you take an idea, like whether it's a rhythmic or a melodic idea, and you develop that single idea over the course of the music. And whether we're talking about Beethoven's Moonlit Sonata or, bloody Rachmaninoff or Stravinsky's Rite of Spring, that's a bit more complex. But still, it follows. He takes ideas and develops that idea.
Yeah.
And that happens in modern music too, where actually you see it a lot in dance music.
Yeah.
Where,
You just add another layer of like synth and another layer.
Right. That's how it's kind of done in dance
echoing
music.
lyric.
So like it's a different path, but the idea is the same. You're not like wiping it all out and having something different, then wiping it out and having something different.
Yeah.
You're taking something, adding to it,
And
maybe
escalating
subtracting
it.
from it, adding to it. The idea is though that you're developing the same idea.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like an intensification of whatever the emotion is, I guess. And in dance music, that's party emotion.
For sure. And I mean, and in great rock ballads and that sort of thing, we see this too, where, so the first chorus, by the time you've got there, it would be, it'll be a strong solo line with perhaps a harmony on one or two of the words or notes. By the time you get to the final chorus,
it's a
you've picked up a tone. You've got a a counter melody in there with like maybe a background singer doing oohs or something like that as well. And you'll have like the tambourine has lit up as well. And it's fundamentally the same music as you got there, but development of the idea.
But it's different. Yeah. I really like my favorite band for like backing vocals escalating are the Beths.
The Beths.
Yeah, who I just absolutely adore. And part of it's like hometown loyalty of seeing them gig in Auckland 5 years ago and being like, I think these guys have got something, which of course means that all of their success is 100%.
Do you like the Donnas as well?
Me. I don't know.
Wow.
Who are the Donnas?
You got to listen to the Donnas.
Oh, it's embarrassing, isn't it? Are they Australian?
Oh, I think they're Australian.
American. Okay.
I think they're American. But
I'm just thinking of
the Beths, they're all called Beths, right?
No, it's Elizabeth and then 3 boys.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
See, I mistakenly figured that it was the same thing, but the Donnas, they're all Donna.
They're just all called
It's 4 Donnas. And you know what? Some of those names might be fake.
Yeah, it's possible.
But that was the hook. They're all named Donna. Yeah. And they're like a grunge rock band, vocal harmonies, cool. Distorted rhythm guitars and cool. I just think you'd like the music.
I should look them up. Yeah, it sounds like my
What they do is not that dissimilar to Broken Girls, honestly.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Good reference material.
So, you guys got any gigs coming up?
Not really. We've sort of decided to just, have a bit of a play and muck around a bit more because I think the pandemic sort of put pay to. We had a couple of gigs over summer that didn't come off.
Cancelled because of the pandemic.
The plague, yeah. And like one of our cohorts, got a very pregnant partner and a small child, so we're not really about putting anyone in a risky situation. Of course. And I got sick anyway, even though I was being extremely sensible.
Did you get COVIDed?
I did get COVIDed. Yeah, I didn't even go to the pub or anything. I just hung out at a friend's home and got COVIDed. So that sort of put pay to a little bit of that. But I think we're just, we're keen to improvise more and mess around with some new stuff. We recorded over summer at Green Room.
Oh, yeah.
Which was really good fun. So that is moving towards, I feel like we've been moving towards an EP for ages, but that's just how, them's the breaks.
Yep.
So I think something will be coming out from me solo and from the band very separately with very different vibes.
Sure.
Hopefully both this year. Yeah.
So it's something that stood out to me about your band straight away when I was the uniform.
Yeah.
Right? Some bands do it to great effect, most don't. But I mean, yours is really cute.
Thank you.
Like the boys in the pink overalls and the black shirt, and you've got like the pink blazer.
Yeah, well, we mix it up. I too have pink overalls, but we got some advice from a very stylish friend that I'm allowed to like peacock and stand out and wear something different.
Because you're the front.
Because I'm the front lady.
The front lady. But is that the right way to say it? The front lady? Front person.
Front person, yeah. I don't know. Yep. Front bottom. But I really like, we used to wear caps as well. I really like the boys in the matching dungarees because it makes them look like Ken dolls. And I like the idea that I'm like in charge. And they're my Ken dolls who show up and play music.
Yeah. Just turning the aesthetic on its head a little bit.
Because when they're on dungarees with matching pink caps,
it
was too much. It was too much. Obviously, they're valuable human beings, but I do love the idea that I get to be the boss.
I mean, regardless of what you say, that's how it appears. The person who's at the front of the band, just literally at the front of the stage, normally is the person singing as well. That's right. Yeah. That's right. And every photo you've ever got on the band, that person has to be in focus.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't necessarily have to be dwarfing the other people, but they have to be in focus.
Yeah.
You can't be the person way off to the side, kind of.
Well, I love when I'm watching live music, I just want to see the musicians looking at each other and, like
stage communication.
Yeah. Well, just like you'd hope that if you are getting a photo of the band, that it's not one person staring out at the crowd and everyone else looking at the ground. You want to be able to see that relationship play out in real time, and you want to see that the musicians are having fun, because then as an audience member you get to have fun as well.
So we got some shots done recently for our band, and it's funny. Obviously, the heavy metal aesthetic is a little different.
As you say, they're very like
Exactly. I
Those
mean,
serious
and like
photos.
like no matter how we're standing, we've got sort of different angles and we're in different
You're
positions.
not on like an old couch.
No,
Like
but
all
every time, you know,
yeah, yeah.
we're all
We have
poker face.
we have one Broken Girls Club photo where we all look serious, and every time I see it, I'm like, we look hot, but it looks so pretentious, and it's only because it's us. If it was any other band, I'd be like, cool band. But seeing a photo of yourself where you're
it's a
trying
different
to like,
feeling. It's a different feeling.
you know, you're just like, what, like, you know, we're goofy, we're ridiculous,
Yeah.
we're dorks, you know.
Well, you've got a great photo with the piggyback.
Yeah, yeah, that was a good shoot. And the
Yeah.
parasol. Yeah, that's in like Kelly, the drummer's back garden. We got his partner to
Yeah.
take some photos of us. Yeah, yeah, I do like the pink dungarees. Before every gig, we sort of like in the group chat being like, we're going to wear the dungarees tonight. Like, is it a special occasion? Yeah.
I mean, would you see you could develop another uniform too for like
Yeah, well,
different flavour gigs.
sometimes big important gigs. Like we had a Mona gig, and the boys all wore suit pants and a white shirt, and I wore a full sequin gown.
Oh wow.
So sometimes we step it up,
Yep.
you know. But the dungarees do go pretty well.
Well, how about David's birthday gig?
Oh, oh man, that was great. I actually wore my wedding dress
Yes.
for that show.
What an event, eh?
It was so good. Yeah, it was insane. I really like. I think he likes our band, and I just like don't know
For
how
sure,
or why,
but
I love
100%,
that.
100% was Kershaw that requested you.
Really?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great gig. I had a lot of fun. But like I haven't been drinking for a few months, and I was like, oh, this will be a test. Well, she's 60th, and as you're
It was
walking
pretty
in,
extravagant,
everyone's
wasn't
like
it?
mezcal shot. Like as you're walking in, and then there's drinks in the green room, and they're like, any cocktail you want, like you know. And I'm like, can I have a mocktail? To their credit, one of the people did make me like a really amazing lychee juice mocktail.
I was actually drinking mocktails all night myself.
Yeah,
Same reason.
it was pretty
no
good.
alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was like, this is a really great test early on in the game of not drinking to just like have like just opulence everywhere. Everyone's drinking. Yeah.
I actually felt really weird there. I mean, it was great, but you see, all around, for some unknown reason, for whatever reason, I was invited as a guest. I wasn't working there. I was literally on the invite list.
Nice.
Yeah, so stoked.
In my
Thanks,
imagination,
David.
were the invites crazy? Like, did they have something?
It was email. Oh, I mean, no, there was. I'll look through the emails later, so I'll find it and I'll show you. But but all around me, they're all people I know that I'm working with,
Yeah.
that I day-to-day work with.
Yeah.
And, you know, production staff, all production guys I know. And just, it was weird to, literally just to be like kind of like a punter, not
Yeah. Yeah.
on the staff.
Actually be relaxing and.
But also for this was like, oh, you want something to eat? All the food is free. You know, you want something to drink? All the alcohol's
dessert
free.
table?
What about those ice creams with the
like
half
ice cream
coated in
sandwiches.
chocolate biscuits?
Yeah.
Like in.
I made myself sick, and I was having like a strange time because I guess guests were drinking and stuff, and I was pretty early on and not drinking. And there's a ping pong table in the green room,
Yep.
and Brendan and I developed this game of playing ping pong, but you have to keep continuous eye contact.
Oh,
so you're just like
elevate.
staring at each other and just like hitting on the periphery. And I almost weed myself. It was so funny.
Did you get
So funny.
photo booth photos?
I didn't.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I did not.
That was another one of the attractions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you see the aerial dances?
I did.
They were
I did.
crazy.
It was so beautiful. Yeah, it was a hell of a shindig. I wouldn't mind having a birthday like that.
I know, right?
I had like a potluck last year and I was like, this is really good.
It was only a month or 6 weeks after that, Kershaw's birthday
Yeah.
in Queenstown.
Oh.
So now I wasn't invited to that, but I was part of the
crew.
production for that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so there was just me and another guy who were in charge of all the music. So all the
Wow.
bands, you know, looking after the bands, setting up the, you know, the PA systems and the audio desk and doing the mixing and all of that stuff. Running the house music. You know, Marty Blackwell, you would have met.
It rings a bell.
So he used to be the music curator at Liner.
Oh, right.
And now he works direct for Kershaw.
Right.
But he's also a DJ.
Yeah, cool.
But yeah, so it was just me and Marty looking after all the music for that, and those guys had 3 parties.
Wow.
Like at two. Yes, at 3 venues, over 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Man.
in 2 days, we had to set up and pack up 3 massive parties. And like, I mean, I actually wouldn't mind doing it again because, frankly, it was like a lot of hours and got paid pretty reasonably for that.
Yeah.
And I mean, the parties were pretty wild.
Yeah. Queenstown's funny as well. Like, I literally just took myself on holiday there a couple of weeks ago, and I had a beautiful time. But I can't imagine a massive party. Queenstown would be like shooketh by a party that size.
And you know, it's actually a pretty nice drive for most of the way.
Yeah, no,
like
it's not
the
bad.
last 10%'s like pretty windy.
I'm a scaredy cat, so I drive really slowly.
I drove slower.
So it took me like 6 hours to get there when I drove.
Yep.
I'm like 10 below is fine. Yeah.
You must have been doing 20 below.
I don't like the gravel.
Coming through, so there's a few spots, but coming like down the mountain, super windy, and narrow roads.
It's very beautiful though.
Oh, lovely. But yeah, very treacherous. I mean, luckily enough, the roads are dry.
You wouldn't want to do it on a hangover, would you?
No, or with wet roads, you know.
Yeah.
And you've got bits where I'm just trying to think of what it's even called. I call it the twisting nether.
Twisting nether.
Look, anyway, thank you very much for joining us today, Rose. That's all the time we have for today.
Sweet as. Thanks for having me.
It's been great, and looking forward to your EP.
Kia ora.
And the next time we see you guys playing live.
Yeah, me too. It'll be good.
Great.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, and we'll see you guys next week.